together, when you walk with someone, you walk beside them. You don't walk in front of them. You don't lead them. You don't walk behind them. You don't follow them. But you walk beside them. And I don't know about you, but normally when my wife and I walk together, we kind of talk. We have conversations. It's a great time for us to just kind of relax. Unless, of course, the kids are with us and they're running off ahead of us. But even then, it's a great time as a family to get together and to walk together. And usually when you walk close together. You don't walk with one person way over here and walk over here with a large distance between you. If that's what you're doing, you're not walking together, you're walking in the same direction. But you're not necessarily walking together. So when we walk close together. And we have the same destination in mind. We agree that we're going to go this way. If we begin the walk and I go this way and my wife decides to go that way, we're not walking together anymore. We're all walking. And we may end up back around back of the house, but we're not going in the same direction. And see, in Genesis, when it says that Enoch walked with God, it doesn't say that he had thoughts about God. It doesn't say that he philosophized about God. It doesn't say that he believed in God. He did, but it doesn't say that. It doesn't say that he talked about God. It doesn't say that he read something about God. And it doesn't say It doesn't say that he was familiar with God. And I think all those things today, in this world, we have a tendency, we talk about God. People in the world talk about God. People in the world, they philosophize about God. Some people say they believe in God. Some people talk about God. But see, in Genesis, Enoch, he walked with God. In other words, Enoch continually thought about God. God was continually on his thoughts. He walked with God right into heaven. Now, a couple things we must understand when we look at these verses about Enoch is that, number one, just because Enoch walked up into glory, God isn't trying to impress us with Enoch's piety. It's not about Enoch. Nor was God saying to us, if you can just get as spiritual as Enoch, you too will walk into heaven. That's not what God's telling us. See, this was a very unique experience that God used to be as a specific point. And I believe that God's point in this story was that I want to walk with man. We know that back in Genesis, that in the cool of the day, God would come down and he would walk with Adam and Eve. Now, I always question, and we were talking about this in small group, how is it possible that God as spirit walks with man? He doesn't have a physical form. He's spirit. And I can't say I understand it, but we do know that they knew God was there, and God was with them, and he would walk with them, and he would talk with them. And that's what the story of Enoch has shown us, that God longs, he wants to walk with us, and he wants us to walk with him. And Enoch, to this day, is a witness to all generations of great zeal that God has to walk with us. So how do we do this? I started thinking, how do we walk like Enoch?